So we've come to Melton. First game been over a month, and unfortunately it's a 3-2 defeat, which looked okay when we were 2-1 up, and then to concede 2 goals. But I don't know, it just felt a little bit like we were rusty, or perhaps there was something. We haven't played for a month. So what were your thoughts?
I thought first half they were the better side. Although I didn't think they particularly hurt us. I think they just had a lot more possession, and then we were probably a little bit too passive based upon the fact that what they had personnel-wise in terms of being able to transfer the ball to one area from one area to the other. And probably should have been a little bit more on the front foot, but I'll take responsibility for that because I wanted us to keep in shape and make sure our connections were right. Obviously, then they scored the goal. I think that's just a little bit of a communication issue in terms of whether to step up or whether to stay in. And one did one and one did the other. And then I think it was just a fullback midfielder who's then scored the goal. Did well to find him and fair play to him, he's finished it well. Didn't really think they particularly had many other chances of real note where Azaz had to make a really good save or anything like that. They had, balls in the box, but equally speaking, so did we. Obviously Ellis is with the kind of cross come shot, hit the inside of the post. Another day that can go in. Weren't on the front foot to go what if, to be fair. But I also thought I don't think we got enough quality to our attacking threats to give them more problems than we did, and also transferring the ball from one area to the other. Did it really well on a couple of occasions, but just didn't have enough quality or composure at times. And I think there's times where it's hit someone or we've been too close to each other, which I think, as you say, Spenny, can come with a little bit of rustiness and not having played. You can do all the training that you want to do, but equally speaking, there's nothing such as playing a game. So obviously we got in at half time. As I said to the boys, we've not been great, but we've actually created quite a few opportunities. Didn't really thought we limited them in the most part. And I just said to the lads, we need to be a little bit braver to get on the ball. We need to be a little bit more aggressive with the press. So we changed a few things and it worked for us really. Made a couple of changes early. Nothing that Ellis or Zane had done anything wrong, but I just wanted to go. I thought we needed to get that on the front foot a little bit more, and I thought Lenny and Amir would do that, and I thought they were great when they came on. I said to them in the changing room, that's the kind of response that, we need when players are left out of the 11. So credit to them both. I thought they were great when they came on, and obviously Amir getting the first goal. He needs to do that more. He's come inside. He's had a shot, great finish. Really pleased for him. Really pleased for him. Because he hasn't got as many goals as probably sometimes his play deserves, and that's his next thing. He's brilliant, 18-yard box to 18-yard box, but just that little bit more numbers in terms of end product. But he'll keep working, and he's actually been class. So, and then obviously with Lenny, again unfortunate to be left out. Obviously, but away from home and things like that. That was kind of the reason. Went in a little bit more defensive, but I thought he was great when he came on. Another position that he's played, and the way in which he can adapt to different positions he's brilliant at that. So as I say, pleased for them both. But back in the game, I thought some of our attacking play second half that's as potent as we've looked for a long time on the front foot. I think we've hit the post with Barks. We've had a couple go narrowly wide. Keeper's made 2 unbelievable saves. There was another one where I think Rod's nearly scored, and it somehow gone over the bar. I don't know how. I think it's a really good block from the defender, and numerous set pieces as well. I thought their second goal was a really good one. I think maybe I should have flipped it and changed it a little bit earlier. Obviously, Connor Peters, who's come in, I thought he was excellent, and he was obviously then struggling a little bit. He's had lack of minutes in the last kind of 4 or 5 weeks, so that was, and obviously in terms of the surface can take it out of your legs, so that was to be expected. Maybe I should have changed the shape a little bit earlier in terms of what I could have done more. But I thought their second goal was good. And then it was kind of, I thought we were in the ascendancy even at 2-2. I thought if anyone was going to get a win, it was us. And then obviously in added time again, we've conceded. And that, how many games, nip and tuck games, we've not been on the right end of this season. The 2-1s are 3-2s, the 1-0s. Yeah, like we need to turn our fortunes around, and we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm not really sure what happened with the third goal. I just need to see it back. I don't know if there's bodies across it. I'm not too sure. So, but yeah, no, fair play to them. They've made some additions. I think, especially at home on this surface, they're a good side. In general, but I think obviously it's a big advantage for all them playing on here all the time and the way in which they're shaping how they stretch the pitch. So Tom's a good guy, and get on well with him. So fair play to them. But we've got to concentrate on ourselves, Benny. Ultimately.
Speaking of Rodrigo, he looked really, really good coming in. As you say, perhaps not quite completely on the ball yet, but he'd had a really good start. Was certainly making a nuisance of himself up front.
Yeah, both Connor and Rodrigo have come in, and then Jay. Minutes have been limited, but all three of them will make us better. Actions speak louder than words, but I think, again, you look at what the squad we've got now and what we put out today, what we had missing, what we put out as 11, what we had in reserve in terms of on the bench, and what we didn't have today. You rewind 12 months ago and look at the squad now, and that's no disrespect to anyone who isn't here now or who is here now. It's just fact that this is, as I said, I think this is the strongest squad that the club have had since post COVID. And again, no disrespect to any other squads that have been before, but that's my opinion. But again, actions speak louder than words. We've got to put in the performances, and we'll be working hard next week. Tuesday and Thursday, just to get things right, and just good hard session on Tuesday. Then go through some shapes ready for Blackstones on Saturday next week. So league's really tight. You got to take one game as it is. We win 2 or 3 in a row. You're looking up towards the top 5. You don't, then you're looking towards the bottom 5. That's how it is. So, we've got to dust ourselves down, look at what we did really well today, because some great bits, especially second half, and what we need to do better. So, just appreciation, for all the supporters that came. Must have been 20 or 30 of them. So, we appreciate that, and hopefully we can get a positive result next week.